Howdy, howdy. Welcome on into the pre-show before the free show on a very, very chilly day. Less than ideal.
Is it cold?
Don't act like you don't know that.
I haven't noticed.
Not true. Don't lie to the people.
Sitting next to me is my friend Greg Powers. Hi, Greg.
What's up, y'all?
How are you?
Good.
You doing okay?
I'm doing great.
Are you handling this weather okay?
I am.
Okay. Because Pickle seems shook.
We made it. We're here.
We are here. It's not going to be that bad. I mean, I think a lot of this comes back to what happened last February, and everyone now hears the word ice, and they all freak out. It's like, last February's bad. Not here to tell you it wasn't. But, we can make do, guys. We'll be okay. Can I read you guys a news story here on the pre-show?
What happens if we just say no? Like, you're still going to read it.
I might not.
Yeah, you will.
If you don't want me to read it, I won't read it.
Read it.
Okay. This is from the BBC, although you can find it a few different places. A massive black bear named Hank the Tank is wanted by California police for breaking into dozens of homes in a Lake Tahoe neighborhood since last summer. The bear burglar weighs 500 pounds, much more than the average bear, and appears to have skipped hibernation in winter due to a constant food supply. Authorities say euthanasia may be necessary because the wild animal has grown so comfortable around humans. Wildlife groups are calling for him to be relocated to a sanctuary. Hank earned his nickname by hungrily barging his way into locked and occupied homes.
Have you seen a picture of Hank the Tank?
Would you like to see a picture of Hank the Tank?
I have seen one. He's massive.
Wow.
That's Hank the Tank.
Yeah, he's a legitimate tank. I
want to go. So it appears to me, in reading the story, it does not appear that he has injured anyone.
No, he looks like a happy fella. Like he's just there to eat.
He does not appear to have injured anyone. Okay, and this would be a different conversation if he had injured somebody.
Yes.
For now, I want to go on record. I think if Hank breaks into your house, it's just his house then. I think he's done nothing wrong.
It's like Goldilocks on steroids.
You are punishing him for being himself, right? You're punishing him for being him. Hank the Tank can't help that he's Hank the Tank.
He's a hungry fella.
He's a hungry bear. And what a hungry bear is
what Hank the Tank wants.
Hank the Tank get what Hank the Tank
are
wants.
you going to tell Hank the Tank no?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I think it is selfish on behalf of humans to pretend that we know what is best for Hank the Tank. And especially because this is in South Lake Tahoe, so these are rich people, right? Guys.
You have some food to spare.
Let Hank cook. That's all I'm saying. I think that, if they were going through, because these are probably second homes for these people, right? I'm going to go on record. I think I support Hank the Tank. Do you want to go on record?
No.
I'll support him.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you for your courage. I appreciate that.
I'll support his life.
Here's the exactly. I support his life. I think he has. I don't think he's done anything wrong. I think he's a bear, and I think that's what bears do. And I don't think that we should be angry with him. I don't get mad at you for watching football. That's just what you do, right?
I do.
That's your nature. Pickle, I don't get mad at you for
That's a lie. You're always mad at me.
I don't know. I don't get mad at you for playing board games. That's just you being you, right? That's
me.
just you living your life,
yeah.
Right? Let Hank the Tank cook. That's all I'm saying. Let him go.
I want to show my support for Hank by encouraging someone to try and tell Hank no. Because then Hank gets to
so here we go.
Pop off on someone.
Let me continue. Normal non-lethal methods of bear hazing. Bear hazing.
Okay, if Hank starts hazing people, then that's not okay.
No. Bear hazing,
we do not stand hazing on this podcast.
No, what they mean is the police are doing this.
The police are hazing.
Beanbag munitions, sirens, or dry-firing police tasers, which make a clicky-clack sound that the bears hate, have not been successful in driving Hank away. They've told him no, and he's said, hey, counterpoint, I'm a bear.
It's like a honey badger. Hank does not care.
Hank doesn't care. Hank is going to do what Hank do, and now, look, if his name were, Jim the bear would we be having this conversation? Maybe not. Does the fact that I have a son named Hank and Hank the Tank is an awesome name for a bear play any factor in my decision here?
110%.
I can't rule it out.
Why do I get strong like this popped up on his Facebook feed vibes?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly where it popped up. It popped up on Twitter. It was
Popped up on
trending.
Twitter. It was.
Okay.
It was trending, and then I saw you tweet about it, but I saw
Yeah.
it beforehand. I was
Uh,
waiting for your tweet about it.
Here we go. Okay, so here we go. They have called for the Bear League. Shout out to the Bear League.
What?
The Bear League, a local wildlife advocacy group, says that Hank has got to be his size due to his raging appetite for human food. Samesies, dude. I can relate. They have called for Hank to be trapped and sent to a sanctuary instead of killed, which I think we can all
That's
get on
fine.
board
Yeah.
with.
Oh, yeah. No, Hank should not be killed for wanting
And for
human food.
Lake Tahoe residents, be more vigilant about securing their food and rubbish. Yeah.
Also-
Lake Tahoe residents.
Okay,
I can
let's
see
be.
Hank the Tank scoping out these houses too. Like
Yeah. Always casing the joint.
they're
Oh,
cooking
they've got
cookies tonight, that's the
Oreos.
house.
Okay.
That's the one he's casing them.
This is somebody I didn't catch their first name. Peter Tira, who of the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. Quote, he is not subsisting of diet of ants and berries like a lot of wild bears do. In Tahoe, there's year-round access to high-caloric food, whether we're talking about leftover pizza or ice cream or just trash. It's easier to find that kind of food to work for hours than to work for hours to remove grubs from a dead log.
I was gonna say.
Yes!
Well, here's the big thing.
You are leading him to a
God.
buffet, and then you're getting mad at him for eating. I've got Hank's back here.
For anyone who's worried about Hank, here's the legitimate, I feel like, scientific thing. He's a 500-pound bear that's eating nothing but cholesterol. This is gonna come back to bite him in the butt, and he's gonna be gone before they can really
Don't
do
say
anything
that.
about it. Just being honest.
Officials have received more than 150 calls about Hank. He has broken into nearly 40 homes, sometimes causing severe damage, in the last 6 months. You know what, Hank? Do you. Now, if they come to trap you and take you somewhere safe, let them do it. But, Team Hank. I think Hank the Tank has done nothing wrong here.
He says until there was a 500-pound bear in his kitchen.
Right.
If a 500-pound bear came into my kitchen, guess what? It's his kitchen.
You
now.
know.
I don't know, man. If those fresh baked cookies are in there, we might have a problem.
Are you gonna fight?
Towers is about to throw some hands.
You gonna fight a bear over pizza?
I would probably think, can I grab those cookies?
Listen, you gotta think.
Can I get the cookies and get out of here with my
Gotta think
life?
on your
That's something
feet.
that you weigh when you're
Yeah.
looking in the eyes of a 500-pound bear.
You gotta think on your feet. Okay. Go King Henry. Hit the theme, Mexico. Pickle. Hit the air sign. Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show on 2/23/22. Is that less cute?
Yeah.
My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine, TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. No, we're not on Twitch, right?
Not on Twitch today.
Twitch is down.
Yeah.
Or Twitter, or you're listening to us on the podcast, which you could subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local mediocre internet show. I'm sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is the Duchess of the Dork. She's Ashley Pickle. Hi, Ashley Pickle.
Howdy, friends.
You doing okay? I think the cold weather's got you down.
No, I was just up forever trying to put the final touches on this DCTF All Access piece. So, the next 2 nights are I've watched it 700 times. I'm just a little tired.
Got it. And sitting to my right is the recruiting analyst for Dave Campbell's Texas Football from Next Level Athlete. He is Greg Powers. Hey, Greg.
What's up, y'all?
How are you?
Good.
Yeah?
It's a little cold, but other than
Yeah.
that,
I think we're gonna make it work.
we're riding the waves of the weather in Dallas today.
Today is Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022, 274 days till Thanksgiving. Do you want a birthday born in 1981, 1995, or 1940?
40.
Happy birthday to Peter Fonda. Oh, he's dead, though.
Who was 1981? Just out of curiosity.
1981? 1981 was Josh Gad.
Man,
know
Peter
Josh
Fonda
Gad
was
is?
better. No.
Josh Gad played Olaf in Frozen.
Olaf.
Oh, okay.
I love Olaf.
He's an actor. You'd recognize him. He's one of that. He's one of
He's
those
the
guys.
snowman.
He's one of those guys in
That's
movies.
like in every
Yeah, he
movie,
could
but
sing.
you never recognize him.
Yeah. You'd be like, oh, that guy. He's from that. But yeah, in my household, he is known.
He
as,
is Olaf.
He's Olaf from Frozen.
Gotta look
I
him up.
respect that.
Episode 1338. On today's show, folks, we've got This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, the Next Level Athlete, going to talk all things recruiting across the Lone Star State. In the back half of the program, Powers caught up with Mansfield defensive end Kaleb James. We'll hear from Kaleb James of Mansfield coming up here at the back half of the program. Do we have first four through the door, Ashley?
We sure do. That was weird. Daniel Agnew, just Chad Loudgood, and Daniel Agnew. We'll go with Rob Hadaway. Welcome in, fellas.
Wow, you almost gave somebody
there's
2
comments.
of the 4.
Yeah.
Wow, tough. They're coming in fast and furious. Everybody wants
No, there's barely any coming in.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, boo you commenters.
Whatever.
Well, not the people who are commenting. Boo you who are not commenting.
Lot to get to today. You stretched out?
I'm ready.
I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. And this is This Week.
In Cruton.
This Week in Recruiting is the build-up. This Week in Recruiting from Next Level with our friend Greg Powers, Next Level Athlete. Follow him on Twitter, GPowerScout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter, Next Level D1. See his fine work on TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And, of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken
Oh,
Express.
that sounds really warm.
Chicken Express. Have we talked about their gravy lately?
No, but we should.
Can't we?
The state is cold right now, but that
Oh,
gravy
man.
is so warm.
You know
And what do you put in the gravy?
Yeah, you got the little, what's it called?
Serendipity
Serendipity
salt.
salt.
Yeah.
There we go.
Serendipity.
I
But I'll
taught
tell
you
well. That gravy, one thing I appreciate about their gravy, it's always the right temperature. It's always warm. Like, it's not hot. Because, like,
You know what?
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You can reheat it too, and it's still good. There's a lot of gravy
Really?
that you can't reheat, and
Never had that problem.
well, we've done family meals before, so there's always a little bit left over.
I always do the extra. When we do the family meal, I always do the extra box of rolls.
Nice.
Those
It's
rolls,
a power move.
Those rolls left over, when you warm them back up for like, you can eat them with any meal.
And that's
Like that.
another
Oh,
thing
yeah.
that's not usually good reheated,
Rolls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's tough to do.
like yeast-based.
I almost
thing.
feel like they're better the second time because you shouldn't be having them, right?
it's a little naughty.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
sneak one more.
It's a little when I feel like a bad little boy, I have an extra roll. It's This Week in
We're gonna
Recruiting.
lose our
Greg
sponsorship.
Powers and Next Level. No. No, we love our friends at Chicken Express. Let's start with our prospect on the rise. Our prospect on the rise, we're going out east to Tyler Chapel Hill to talk about their 2023 defensive end, Kevion Huddleston. Kevion Huddleston is one of a number of big-time playmakers that Jeff Reardon has out there with the Bulldogs. He picked up an offer this week from Oklahoma State. He adds that to other Power 5 offers like TCU and Texas Tech and Arkansas, plus places like UTSA, North Texas, and SMU. This is a guy who was on the offensive line last year, but people are recruiting him on the defensive side.
Yep, played both ways. He was like an integral part, I would say, on both sides of the football for Tyler Chapel Hill's state semifinal run. This is a guy who's really coming into his own as a recruit, too. I feel pretty good about this one. Believe it or not, Kevion Huddleston was a DCTF Rising top 25 freshman.
How about that?
So this was one that we kind of got right. And looking back on that, he's a really talented, long, 6'4", 235 pounds, who has a very high ceiling. I think he's one that's going to continue to get better. And that Chapel Hill team is, I think they're pretty loaded coming back with a lot of talent this year. And they have a lot of young talent too. So this is now a pipeline program out in East Texas, as I would describe
He
it.
didn't want to hear it because we were watching the team that beat him in the semifinal. But I talked with Jeff Reardon. I sat with him for a bit of the LBJ Stephenville game. And it was no consolation to him, but I told him, I was like, y'all were a year early. You know that. He's like, yeah. You know, we know the best is yet to come, but sure would have been great. But Kevion Huddleston's a big reason why. They've got a bunch of youngsters out there. And you know, Chapel Hill is a program that every once in a while has put out big prospects, but it seems like this is like things have turned up recently. They're kind of joining those East Texas programs that are consistently putting out studs every single year.
Yeah, and when I say pipeline, that means you're going to recruit them year over year right now. Even in the class of 2025, they had a couple of guys that were in our DCTF Rising magazine this year, and Demetrius Brisbane and Ricky Stewart, running back and quarterback athlete there. Those guys are going to get a lot of attention. there's even a slot wide receiver out there right now that I like a whole lot in this 2023 class, Tyson Berry, a guy who's very electric in the open field. And then there's going to be coaches flocking out to see this guy. I mean, he's got a double-digit offers right now, a handful of P5 offers, but he's one of these kids that all of the major schools are going to take a look at Huddleston, and it's just a matter of do they think they can get him or what other offers they may have out there at defensive end. He's a kid who could get all the offers.
Yeah, he's going to be very, very interesting to watch as a junior or as a senior.
Yeah.
Senior this year. Oh my God, this is going to be class.
Flies by, doesn't it?
I know it does. Kevion Huddleston there at Tyler Chapel Hill. Let's go to our commit of the week. Our commit of the week is, I'll be honest, this is one of the guys that I really like in this class.
Same.
In class of 2023, Torian York, the linebacker from Temple. He committed to Baylor this week. He had offers from he committed to them over places like North Texas, SMU, Texas Southern, and New Mexico State. This is the perfect example of that dude who's just like so productive in high school. I just don't understand why everybody's not on this guy. I love Torian York.
I'm pretty proud of my nickname for him too. I've dubbed him the Temple tackling machine.
I love it.
So that's
Atta
now
boy Powers.
When we talk about him, we have to call him the Temple tackling machine. Racked up 141 tackles. He obliterates ball carriers. A 5'11", 210-pound frame, but he is extremely smart or intelligent. He understands offenses where they want to go with the football. That helps him waste little movement and attacking the ball and get to the ball carrier quickly. Checks all the boxes for me from a guy who wants it. Right,
Yeah.
like he's a guy who plays hard every snap, wants to get better, works hard on his craft, plays with a chip on his shoulder because people call him undersized, and these are all things that I really love about the Temple tackling machine's game, and I think that Baylor kind of robbed one here. I believe more schools ought to be on Torian York, but he is a guy who's already made his commitment, and he's going to be playing in the Big 12. And I think that he's going to be one of their best players once he arrives on the scene there.
I just it's one of those things. I don't know. This is one of the things we've had this conversation about on the recruiting side of it, right? Here is a 2-time district defensive MVP,
right?
A 2-time defensive as a sophomore and as a junior. He is so productive, and it's one of those things that I feel like if he were 2 inches taller, everybody would be on him. But he's a little bit undersized for a linebacker. But this dude, he's just a football playing jack. And if you want a guy who plays football well, I don't know. Sometimes I think recruiting's simple. Like, go out there and recruit good football players. And Torian York's a really good football player.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. As a matter of fact, he might have been their best player on defense as a freshman.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean? Like,
Uh-huh.
I think he racked up over 100 tackles or nearly 100 tackles his freshman season there. So he's a guy that's going to be a rare 4-year starter at inside linebacker at Temple, which Temple, is like at least I consider them, they're like one of these hard knocks, don't mess around with us type of football teams.
Yes.
And he was able to crack that starting lineup as a freshman and not only do it, but be great while he was doing it. So it just continues to get better.
I think this is a steal for Baylor. I think getting Torian York is huge for Tabor and his ball club. Talking this week in recruiting with Greg Powers next level update here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation. #TF Today. Let's go to the underclassman of the week. Our underclassman of the week is going to be a junior this year. Frisco Reedy offensive tackle Max Anderson, all 6'5", 260 of this child. Picked up an offer this week from Texas A&M. It's, I believe, his second offer he has one from SMU, but now he has one from Texas A&M. He does have a family tie to Oklahoma, but you think this guy could be one of the very best in the 2024 class.
Extremely athletic, long. He already, passes the test on tape, has the lineage to be really good. It's just getting started for him, but it is kind of weird sometimes to see like Texas A&M is your first Power 5 offer, only your second offer. I would have thought that he would have blown up with a lot of other offers. And Oklahoma, where are you at?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
his brother Nathan, we should say, is there at Oklahoma right now.
Right. What are they waiting on?
Yeah.
So really like his game a lot. I think that he's going to be really good because he's technically sound. And Frisco Reedy is another one of these programs right now that seems to be popping off with talent. I mean, they continue to have a lot of talented players in that program. And if I were to pick one of the schools in Frisco outside of Lone Star that I think is really on the upward trend, especially as it relates to college football recruiting, it's Frisco Reedy. They got a lot of guys.
Yeah.
That's a guy who is not going to have any leftover Chicken Express rolls. That kid is massive.
No, it's a big dude. That's a big dude, and there's still the other thing about him is there's still some room to hang some weight on his frame.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's 6'5", 260. Like his frame, you could see be like you could add 30 pounds and still be pretty much as athletic as you are right now.
And just think he's probably, 15 years old on this tape.
A large
you know what I mean?
child.
Like he's a big dude.
His poor mom.
A large child. Yeah, he's like two.
Well, yeah, just think about what they were eating.
And then when
couple
Nate-
With the
years ago when
Oklahoma
Nate
one,
was at
yeah.
home.
Yeah, 2 offensive linemen. Yeah.
That's a hefty
Chicken
grocery.
Express family meal.
That's that's a family meal each.
Just for the kids.
Anyway, but yeah, you're right. It's rare to see A&M. How do I want to say it? I don't mean this in a derisive way. I mean this
Shooting their shot first.
Yeah, it's weird to see them in the door early. Like normally, they are the schools that have to be in on teams early to have a chance are the ones
Right.
that get in there. You know, UTEP. It's really important for UTEP to go and offer first. That's something. It's not super important for A&M to offer first. They must have seen something when they saw Max
North
Anderson.
Texas.
Exactly
You know what
right.
I mean? Like I would have expected North Texas maybe to get this offer. I mean, SMU got it kicked off, and they do a pretty good job of recruiting too. You know, they have to balance what they're going to take out of high school with the transfer portal. I would expect that they take 50-50 between both of those avenues moving forward. But Texas A&M really hangs their hat on recruiting high school prospects. So here's your first indication that this is going to be like a top tier, top 50, maybe in the running to be one of the top offensive linemen in the state. And just we kind of touched on everything. That 6'5", 260 is going to look probably pretty special at 6'5", 290.
Let's round it all out with our recruit of the week. Our recruit of the week, staying in the DFW Metroplex, going north to Denton Guyer to talk about their 2023 soon-to-be senior defensive back Ryan Yates. He has named a top 4, Cal, LSU, Michigan State, and Texas Tech. It is an eclectic
There's
Final Four.
No rhyme or reason.
That is so you go Big 12, Pac-12, SEC, Big 10, all in different parts of the country.
He was covering all of his color schemes.
All different colors, different like defensive schemes too. Like it's a strange is the wrong word. I don't mean that like in a mean way, but it is a wide ranging Final Four for Ryan Yates.
It's kind of cool because it definitely, like, I feel like from a recruiting guy perspective, that makes it that much harder to figure out where he's going.
Texas Tech.
Oh, really?
Okay.
That's what I'm going.
You're
I'm
putting
making
the
my
call?
prediction on Texas Tech. They're
Okay.
running hot right now.
Yeah, they are.
You know, and then Denton Guyer would be a great school to start to make some inroads in if you're Joey McGuire or Kenny Perry, the defensive backs coach there at Texas Tech. And they've got a lot of positive momentum. If I'm a kid in the state of Texas right now, and Texas Tech is one of my top schools, I'm thinking about playing for a guy who might have my best interest in mind, and that seems to be Texas Tech running hot right now. But that's just a guess. Seriously, I don't have any inside information on that. I'm just looking at the list and thinking, you know what? Where would I go if I'm Ryan Yates and I'm looking at this list?
No,
LSU, I mean, they're always a threat for top guys, and
especially in the secondary. Now he profiles more as a safety. You would say?
I called him TB because I took the easy way out on this one. Usually I don't like to do that. I like to say safety or corner or whatever. He plays corner for Denton Guyer, or he did exclusively last season, and is really good with a big frame. I think his frame speaks more to safety as he develops. If he's 175 now, he's going to be 200 probably in a couple years, just with natural progression, and that makes me think that safety might be a more natural fit for him. But he has cornerback talents wrapped up in a safety frame, and I would say yes, safety probably down the road would be his calling card.
We'll find out. He's Greg Powers' next athlete.
Oh, come on.
Do you have a segue?
Are you just going to not segue anymore? Those were my favorite parts. And that's me giving you a compliment.
One of my favorite parts is whenever we get to talk with Greg Powers, the next level athlete. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout. Follow Next
You're
Level Athlete
welcome.
on Twitter. Next Level D1C is fine work at TexasFootball.com /recruiting. Powers, appreciate your time. Stay tuned because I need you to introduce the next segment.
I'll be here.
We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. TexasFootball.com is where you can find complete coverage of high school football, college football, and recruiting all across the Lone Star State. Hope you'll consider becoming a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. 2 magazines, a year's worth of exclusive online content at TexasFootball.com. If you go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe, including lots of good stuff from our friend Greg Powers.
Every day.
That's him. Powers, who'd you talk to this week?
We talked with Mansfield defensive lineman Kaleb James. Played at Fort Worth Nolan Catholic last season, has transferred into one of the DFW's power schools, and he picked Arkansas out of 22 scholarship offers recently and made his commitment to play in the SEC. So get ready to hear from one of the most seriously defensive-minded guys in the 2023 cycle.
Here's Mansfield defensive end Kaleb James here on Texas Football Today.
Greg Powers, TexasFootball.com, and like every week, I'm joined by one of the top prospects in the Lone Star State, and this week it's Mansfield defensive lineman Kaleb James. Man, thanks for jumping on with us this week, and looking forward to playing your senior year. How's it been going out there in Mansfield?
Yes, sir. It's been going good. The transfer was smooth from Mansfield to Nolan. Got to see a lot of my older friends from the middle schools and the schools I used to go to. Got to meet the coaches there at Mansfield, all pretty cool dudes, and I'm just excited to get started.
And I kind of always think of Mansfield as like being a blue-collar, hard-working type of team, and they are no strangers to producing D1 talent. I'm sure it's got to be a little bit exciting just playing in that school district now. Is that your perception maybe early on? How would you explain it?
Yeah, we definitely get after it. Hard work every day. That's what I like. That's one of the reasons I chose Arkansas as my top school and where I'll be going, just because the way they work as well.
You mentioned Arkansas. You did make your commitment there, and they're a program that seems to really be on the rise in the SEC. They've got a head coach now that really seems to have that train on the right track. What also was it about that program that made you feel comfortable enough early on, because you're just now kind of in the middle of the recruiting process, but you felt comfortable enough to go ahead and pull the trigger. How does all that work to give you that ease of mind?
Yeah, Coach Pittman was a really good guy. I just really loved the program, and it was just really easy for me to make the decision, just seeing how they've been coming up and how the change in the program has been going, and how Coach Pittman has totally flipped it around.
22 offers came flying at you, man, throughout the recruiting process. So you were very heavily recruited. You're a DCTF 4-star prospect. Is it really stressful going with all those schools coming at you, or is it something like every day is like a new blessing? How do you really look at it whenever you're going through that process?
Yeah, it was a blessing, but it wasn't super stressful for me. I went and I visited a lot of the schools that had offered me. Yeah, they gave me the opportunity to just let me see what they have to offer and get to explore their schools and all that nice stuff. And it really just came down to Arkansas. I just kind of fell in love with their campus and what they had to offer.
It seems like Arkansas fans are really wild on social media. That's maybe from a Texas perspective looking out, but it seems like they really are a very passionate fan base. Is that something you noticed while you're up there, like maybe on some of your visits or even just with your interactions now on social?
Yeah, I think the Arkansas fans are really after it, and they even get after some of the recruits as well. But I think the biggest part of that is Arkansas is really the only team that they have to support there in Fayetteville and in Arkansas. So everybody in Arkansas goes crazy for them. So
I haven't been there in a while, but the campus was pretty beautiful last time I was in Fayetteville too. Is it still like that?
Yes, sir. It's really beautiful. Just coming down the road and then seeing the hill, seeing the big hog, on the side of the stadium. It's really beautiful.
Just kind of talk about your own talents out there. I mean, you're a guy right now that, you have good size at the defensive end position. So I think your position flexibility or versatility could be something that could play, heavily for you once you move on to college. How have you been recruited? What position do you think really fits you best as you, mature onto the field as a senior and then onto the college ranks?
Yeah, I've been recruited as both like defensive end, defensive tackle, and I think I'm really starting to fill out more to become a defensive tackle. Although I would like to play that defensive end spot, I think I could be a tweener, play both maybe. But if not, I'll stick at D tackle.
You'll be able to slide around, I think, and cause some mismatches, I guess is the best way to explain it. You're definitely that new style of defensive lineman that you could probably play that strong side defensive end role and then slide inside and get some speed rush going on and get some of those slower interior guys. Hey, that's just my opinion, though, from watching the tape and watching you grow and develop. But just going kind of back to the expectations there as a high school player, I mean, do you feel like you're stepping into a team right now that's looking good for a district championship? I mean, is the vibe – I guess what I'm asking is, what's the vibe there? Is it like you guys feel like you're ready to go out and compete?
Yeah, we haven't made it to the playoffs in, I think, 15 years now. So this team really wants to go and do it, and I think we have a shot this year to make it to the playoffs and maybe make it deep in the playoffs this year. So definitely be looking out for that.
All right, that was Kaleb James, man. Thanks for joining us this week. And once again, we'll be looking out for a big senior year from you. And then, of course, we'll be following your career as you can move on to Arkansas and college.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There he is, Kaleb James, defensive lineman from Mansfield, now a 2023 Arkansas commit. Had offers from that was one of 22 offers he had, but he committed to go play for them Hogs out there in Arkansas. We appreciate his time hopping on with our friend Greg Powers. Let's go over to our other friend, Ashley Pickle, from America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Wow, I got a segue this time. How cool. Wanted to throw this up and remind people that Friday is big days around the no, almost. I'm getting the Ishmael Johnson review today, which is always very intensive, so I might have a bunch of work to do tonight. But we are premiering our DCTF All Access piece over the 4A Division I State Championship, which was between Stephenville and Austin LBJ. We went completely behind the scenes. We've got a whole 30-minute feature film on what it's like to go behind the scenes there, so that'll be Friday at noon. That's what the whole show will be on Friday. So just a reminder there.
Yeah. Anything else? You got anything for me, Powers? Anything else?
Man, I'm really excited about that.
I'm excited about that too.
That looks
I'm
really
pumped.
cool. How many hours of tape did you have to sift through for that?
We over 30 hours. So it has been it's been a process.
That's going to be good. Just think of all the compelling content that hit the cut floor on that.
Is Powers in it?
No.
Oh.
Okay, well then, we're starting at a B+.
I don't know if anyone from our staff is really in it, to be honest.
Well, we're not part of the state championship game, so
yeah.
I feel like we are.
We are a part of what's going on at the state, but we're not a part of the state. We're not playing. We're coaching.
Yeah.
We're cheering.
Some of our Texan Live guys, Gavin and Trevor, were doing our audio, so every now and then when they were holding mics, you'll see them in the background, but that's about all you see of actual facial recognition. Our buddy Clay was in it.
Clay.
But yeah, I'm very, very excited. So Friday, please tell your friends. It'll be fun. It's cold. It's nasty, so stay inside and watch our movie.
That's going to do it for us.
That's my pitch.
Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Mansfield defensive lineman Kaleb James for being our guest. Powers, thanks for stopping by.
Can we do it again next week?
Yes.
No. We're gone.
Oh, yeah. Actually, no, we can't.
No, next week.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
All right.
Anyway, Powers is fired.
See y'all soon.
For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper Young for the Player of the Year trophy. We will see you tomorrow, though. Hopefully, if we can get in on Texas Football Today.